Yo, we're gonna go on ahead. We're gonna review this movie, Rocky. We cannot wait to dive into this. I have Alex here with me. We're gonna be talking about the very first Rocky movie, and let's go on ahead. Let's do this. I'm excited to have Alex here. Let's do it. Hey, Alex, how are you doing, man?
Doing good, John. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's always a good time to be able to go back to the '70s and revisit a classic movie known as Rocky. And Sylvester Stallone, this is actually hands down one of my favorite Sylvester Stallone movies that he's done, aside from the Rambo series, which we reviewed over here on the channel. But I think this is one of my favorite ones. What about for you?
Um, I have thoughts.
Yeah, there is some stuff in it, though. There is some stuff.
I have some thoughts. It's definitely. I will acknowledge that this is definitely, in terms of being iconic, one of the most iconic movies of all time, franchises basically of all time. This isn't my favorite of the Rocky franchise, but I can respect the roots.
Okay, so let's just dive on right on into this thing because I'm excited to be able to talk about this. So this is actually a Thanksgiving movie if you think about it, and the way it's actually set up, especially how
Mhm.
we're first introduced into Rocky. We don't get much of a backstory with Rocky. We're just all of a sudden we're in this story, we're in the gym, we're seeing people prepare for a fights and stuff like that, doing training. And you're supposed to be this movie clocks into like an hour and 52 minutes, and we're supposed to care about Rocky as soon as we see him. And I think they do a pretty good job at setting this up. It actually starts off in this underground uh church, I believe, even though it says that it actually takes place in that gym. It actually takes place over um it ends up taking place somewhere in a boxing ring or whatever, but it seems like it would actually take place in an underground Catholic church
Yeah,
if you
that's what
think
I was
about it.
thinking.
And yeah,
Fighting for God in the name of God.
in all the glory of God, we're gonna fight and bust each other up until one of us submits. But and then there's also probably some old woman that's actually probably knitting in the back somewhere that's putting all the clothing lines and everything else together too. But they just don't show it. But but this actually takes place a few days before Thanksgiving in 1975. Rocky Balboa fights a man in Tiny Jim's boxing ring. At first, it's not looking good for Balboa, but when his opponent headbutts him, Rocky beats him down to the mat. Here's a tip: if you find yourself in the ring with Rocky, don't mess with his face. He is very proud of that nose. That's what I have in my notes.
and
But
then and then from then on, everyone just continues to mess with his face. Every fight, he's getting hit in the face thousands of times, and I'm just like, he should be dead at this point. After like
exactly, man.
after like one or two jabs to the face, I would probably be dead. But he's just the whole fight just getting hit over and over.
And
There's
what's
no
bad
body
is his
shots.
right, and also too, he's not listening to anybody. He thinks that he's like the smartest person in the room, but he's not. Because even the person that's actually trying to help him, he's like, "Look, man, you need to cover your face. You need to go on ahead and protect yourself." No, man, I got this. I got this. I'm gonna be all right. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna fight because this is what my name is Rocky, and that's what I do. I'm gonna do this,
I'm a
and
fighter.
so I'm a
I'm half.
fighter.
I'm half a bum, and I can fight. But that's all I do. That's all I
That's
do.
all I know. That's all I know. So you know, but um, but also too, when we get see Spider, he's over there. He's telling him, he goes, "You got lucky today." He goes, he's like, "I still won," and so he winds up winning like $40 after he winds up winning, and that's pretty much nothing if you think about it.
I'm like, oh, they have my dude really broke. I felt bad. I was just like, dang, these people are putting their bodies on the line to entertain others, essentially. And like that one guy that lost, like I get the person who loses a fight would get paid less. I get that. But like only $17? Like that's like two Happy Meals, maybe. Like
Uh, Well, back in that days, though, I mean, you could probably get a lot, but I wonder what inflation would be like for today, though, if you actually
Yeah,
look at it. But
six
you know,
dollars.
which is still not much.
It's
But
not.
you know, I just felt bad for Rocky because he got the shit in the deal, though. I mean, he got a locker room fee that he got kicked out of later on. He winds up getting all these other fees charged to him. I'm like, damn. So he might as well just go on ahead and just be with Spider and they combine each other's money and that do it that way.
Just be roommates.
Exactly.
He's still able to afford a 1 bedroom apartment. Like once again, back in those times, definitely cheaper to live. So good for him. He at least has his own place. So I guess he's making just enough to like live on. And I totally forgot that he was the muscle for a loan shark.
Yeah.
I always forget that part.
You know what, man? I'm glad that you mentioned that because that's also something I forgot, though, because I thought, okay, he's just a boxer and everything. I did not. Here's the thing: it's been so long since I've seen Rocky that I forgot that he was actually a loan shark for the mob.
Yeah.
And you know, that's something that I really didn't think about or anything like that either. I'm just went into the story remembering the fact that hey, he's a boxer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot all about that. But you know, after that winds up happening, we actually have okay, so he's actually a loan shark. We mentioned that, and Mob Boss Loan Shark when he isn't collecting debts or bruising faces, Rocky is trying to charm Adrian, the clerk at the local pet store. She's the sister of Rocky's best friend Polly, who works at the local slaughterhouse. But okay, so I like how he goes over there to try and break someone's thumbs because he hasn't paid the guy at all. You know,
He said I gotta break a thumb. Like it's a thumb's got you paid for
oh
two
man,
hundred. I gotta break a thumb. I won't pay. Hey, go plan ahead. Plan ahead.
clearing the head. That's what I gotta say. Clearing the head. That's what I do before I get hit in the head.
Plan ahead, or I'll hit you in the head and break your thumb.
But I then also too the gangster that he works for seems like he's a really really nice gangster. He doesn't that he's working for. He's like Rocky. I told you. I just wanted you to break his thumbs. Hey, you know I couldn't do it. I couldn't break his thumbs or anything.
He's definitely a more chill gangster or whatever he's supposed to be on the chill area. Because because I forget this portion of the movie all the time. I always get worried that like, oh, Rocky's gonna get threatened by him at some point, or something. That's usually how these things go. But no, the dude paid for his training fee. He's like, here's $500. Don't worry about it. Just be, just go out there and do your thing. I was like, honorable gangster guy. Cool.
Exactly. He's like, at first, it could actually go down that route of like, okay, so are you trying to pay Rocky off to throw the fight? It could land that way, but it doesn't. And there's no one that's really bad in this film either. There's like no
But
real bad guy or anything. Everybody's just there basically trying to get through life in a sense. But Polly's just out for Polly, but we'll get to that in a minute.
oh yeah. Oh, I got stuff to say about Polly right here. I got. But so like he goes. I want to go back to it. He goes into the pet shop to try to flirt with Adrian. This is the most uncomfortable couple I've seen in a movie. She does not want to talk to him. He's saying stuff to her. I don't know what he's saying a lot of the times, but he's talking to her, and it's just anytime they're together, I'm like this. I'm like this. This feels so forced and weird. Like I don't understand why they're attracted to each other, or if Adrian's even attracted to him, or she's
You
just
can
going
definitely
with it.
Dude, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I even put that in my notes as well. Because, like, when you first see it and everything, you're supposed to be engaged into this whole entire idea of them being in love. And then, before I even review this movie, right, I'm just watching it normally, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty much sold on it. But then once you sit back and watch it and you're reviewing it, I'm like, oh, this is just like getting hit on at a bar and this guy just randomly comes up to you. Hey, you like turtles? I like turtles too. Hey, you like? Hey, do you want to go out sometime? What's going on? I'm Rocky Balboa.
I bought these turtles from you. You should come over. And I can show you the turtles that
I can
you've
show you
already
the
seen,
turtles.
but now
You
you can
like
see them in
turtles?
mine.
I got turtles too. I got exotic. And she goes, yeah, I know. I sold them to you.
And she's just always like this. Every scene they're together. Just in her little corner. And I'm like, okay, that's a red flag. That should just be enough to be like, all right, this ain't gonna work. She's like this. Well, just walk away. Their relationship is so uncomfortable.
Well, even the owner though, man. Like the owner goes on ahead. She reminds me of, okay, if Adrian was working the bar, right? And this one guy just keeps on showing up every single night and wanting to ask her out and pursuing her. The manager would say, hey, look, go on ahead, go to the back, do some dishes. I got this right here. The manager, I didn't even realize this until I watched this again. The manager goes on and tells her, hey, look, go on ahead, go in the back and straighten out some stuff over here. I got Rocky right now.
She did do that. So it's just like, this whole relationship is already a massive red flag, and we're not even at the worst part yet.
And on top of that, like, dude, he doesn't even pay for the turtle food. He's like, okay, bye. I got the food.
They can't have moths because they're sliding them out in the throat and it chokes it. I gotta get rid of the mouth.
I got the food though. It's okay. I'll be back tomorrow.
And then, so like, if I could be honest, like, most of this movie isn't even about boxing. It's Rocky walking to a place. That's most of the movie. He's walking to a place and like saying something. There's some kind of dialogue going on, but it's always about something else. And like that's the first hour and 40 minutes of the movie. He's walking to a place. You know.
That's true. He is walking.
Talking about something.
Speaking of walking, right? Okay, so remember whenever you have those people that are singing outside his place, and it's like they're singing the same song over and over again. It's like, do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Sing something else. And then here comes Rocky. Hey, you're doing a really good job over there. You're doing really good on the singing. I hear you all the time. You're doing real good.
Good.
Keep on doing what you're doing.
My favorite street interaction. I don't know why this was in the movie, but he like takes that one little girl that was hanging out with all those boys and just basically gives her like a 3-minute monologue. Like, hey, they're gonna treat you like, you on the streets. He's basically calling her a whore, this little girl. That's what he's calling her. And it's just, well, I couldn't help but laugh because I understand every other word he's talking about. And I'm just looking at this little girl who's also just so confused as to why this grown man is calling her a whore.
But at the same time, though, it's just him trying to give her advice. If you hang around that crowd, they're going to do stuff to you. So let me go on ahead and help you. But at the same time, though,
it's just like, Rocky, who are you?
Like, who are you to walk me home? You know what I'm saying? I've been walking these streets with these guys. But at the same time, though, I like how Rocky also pauses himself for a minute and goes, wait, who am I to give you advice?
Well, it's too late now. You already did it. You already traumatized this little girl by calling her a whore. Like, excuse my language, but that's basically.
Hey, I did not mean to do that. I've been trying to pick up this one girl over at the pet store.
Yeah, like I couldn't help but crack. Like it made me uncomfortable, so I started laughing. I was just like, "What is happening right now? Why is he talking to like this? They should have just cut that, but whatever." He's walking out now. He's walking to another place. Where is he walking to next after here?
Okay, so this is another thing he does. Okay, he says it's because after multiple failed attempts, Rocky finally succeeds on getting a date with Adrian on Thanksgiving night. The two are the only ones at the local. Huh?
The date wasn't even her idea. It was Paulie's.
Yeah, because he goes to the bar looking for Paulie. And I don't know why you would look for this scumbag. You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, basically Paulie's like Rocky's wingman, if you think about it. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna be friends with this guy because if Paulie says yes, I'll go on ahead. I'll get to go on a date with Adrian. So basically, in a sense, they're both using each other. I don't want to say that, but that's what it comes off as.
It
It's like,
is.
well, Paulie is using Rocky's name to get in good with him because he knows that Rocky is a good fighter. This is not until like towards the end of it, of course. He goes, "Hey man, can I use your name?" Yeah, whatever, Paulie, go ahead. And I'm like, "You're such a dumbass because he's using you."
Mm-hmm.
And someone's like, "Well, he's trying to give Paulie an opportunity to do something with his life and everything besides working at a meatpacking plant and stuff like that." I said, "Well, that's on him for working there and making his life the way it is." It's
Paulie is. I don't know why they kept putting him in the frame in the movies. I hated him so much. He's like, I don't like he's abusive to Adrian. He's a moocher. He mooches off Rocky. Why is he here? But like I was really hoping that he does get in with the gang and he gets in trouble and gets taken out off screen. And this is like, Paulie doesn't need to be here. He's the worst type of human being. Anytime I saw him in the second, third, fourth movie, I was annoyed. I hated him. I like go jump off a cliff, Paulie. Like no one likes you. Why are you here? And like the
especially
movie
when
sets.
he calls Rocky calls him a racist name. He also does the same thing when Apollo is making the announcement about wanting to fight him because of the Italian stallion name and stuff like that. And Paulie does call Apollo a clown, but Rocky is so fixed in on the clown part that the other thing just goes over his head.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically Rocky is just reviewing Apollo as a fighter and not anything else, while Paulie is viewing him as a person. That goes to show you the different level of how Rocky looks at somebody whenever he's trying to fight somebody. He's looking at him as a boxer, not as just as a normal human being.
Right. Just respecting the profession behind it. Yeah. Paulie needs to jump off a cliff into fire. But I was like, I hated that he was in the future movies. I was like, no, why are you giving him money? Why are you
I was happy when they killed him off. I'm not gonna lie. I was happy when they finally killed this character off.
This is
because even whenever it's like he's trying to pimp his sister out too. It's like he's like all she's gonna do is dry up and not do anything with her life or anything. And you need to go on ahead and get with her, Rock. You need to go on ahead and even whenever A doesn't even want to go out, and
no, she was going out with Rocky that night. That
right.
was it is. I'm glad she does yell at him towards the end of the movie, like, "No, I was taking care of you, you bum," and so
right, and calling him out on his own BS.
This whole situation. She eventually didn't cuss him out. She should have cussed him out too, but she did raise her voice at him. I was like, all right, Adrian, there you go.
And then Rocky's trying to be smooth. He goes, "Hey, yo, Adrian, why don't we go on ahead, go out on the skating rink?" No? And
that part was adorable. I was like, okay, skating rink, cute little date, all right. And then I was like, okay, take her home now. Date's over. Nope.
Because at first we're like, okay, Rock, you're doing a good job here. I mean, you paid the Zamboni guy off $10 to have a couple of minutes alone. And I like how they have the camera angle fixated on them two, even though it's just them inside the ring. But it tells you a little bit on the idea that there might be something there.
Yeah.
Because the date is going so good until he opens his mouth and goes over to the house. And this is when he goes, yeah, hey, you want to come upstairs? I got turtles. You like turtles? I got exotic animals. Want to see my turtle? Hey, Alex, want to see my turtle?
No, I ain't coming in to see your turtles. You see what I'm wearing? I'm too vulnerable right now.
That's okay. That's okay. You can wear your crop top. That'll be all right.
No,
I'm a
I'm
southpaw. I got 1, 2, 3,
I'm
4,
running.
5,
I
5
am
fingers.
I am not fast, but I am running away like Olympic level. If someone's just like, "Hey, come in, see
Just
my
come in.
turtles."
Come in for a minute. I want to show you my animals. Want to play video games? Let's play some video games.
But it was that scene was just like gross. I'm like, all right. She said no, probably like this is about the 80th time in this one scene. She basically gets pressured to go into his apartment, and then he won't let her leave. Like, it's so many red flags. She even says, "I'm uncomfortable."
Right.
At no point in that scene does she say, "Yes, I'm down for this."
No, she doesn't. And matter of fact, she goes, I need to call Polly and let him know that I'm okay. He goes, hey, I'm gonna call Polly for you, okay? He goes out and opens up the window. Hey, Polly, your sister's here with me. It's okay. She's okay. All right. See, I call Polly. Everything's fine. It's like, baby, I'm cold outside, right? It kind of reminds me of that. It's like, I really can't stay, Rock. It's okay. You can stay here on the couch. That's all right.
Yeah, that whole scene, and then when she tries to leave and he closes the door on her, I'm like, oh, no, this is Blade Runner all over again. This is all right. This is officially into to I'm in danger. Well, already in danger, but like this is like okay, you're there in danger mode. Who are men? If you're watching this, don't do that.
No,
Don't
this
do what
is the
Rocky
things
does.
that you do not do on a date.
Do not do that. If a woman says no, I don't want to come in, just be like, okay, see you next time then. Leave it at
Hey, let
that.
me drive you home. It'll be okay. I'll go ahead and drive you home. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Like,
after the skating rink, he's gonna walk her home, and then maybe
right.
they'll have like a little kiss. No, no, no.
And
It
Rock
was.
just wants to go in for the whole entire enchilada. He does not just want a kiss.
I was
Like he
like,
was just
oh, and that made me feel like strangely different about Rocky after that scene. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like you anymore. You're kind of a rape, not kind of. That's rapist behavior.
right.
Rocky the rapist. Oh,
Oh my god.
I
But
mean, he
but
is.
then they do it, and it's okay. I know whenever our parents said, "Look, eat your carrots, and your eyes will be great." Or if you sleep with somebody, you won't go your vision increases.
If you sleep with
Adrian all of
somebody,
a
your
sudden
vision
takes off her
increases.
glasses and she sees everything fine.
Oh, that's right. That's that old movie cliche, like, oh, a woman's more beautiful when she takes off her glasses. Like, are they though? Like, no, no, dude, I need this to see. Put my glasses back on. I can't see anything. If you want to do this, I need to be able to see.
It's okay. You look beautiful without your glasses.
It's like,
But no, but okay.
next scene, next
So
scene.
okay. So anyways, after this happens, she does ask him, why does Rocky box? He says it's because he's a bum and a moron. But she doesn't care that he's a bum. And he doesn't care that she's shy. So these two are a perfect couple. Seriously. Our humble Choponian is that this is the best couple in movie history. So
Who
it
said
would
that?
seem. Huh?
Who said
I
that
have it
this is
in
the best
parentheses.
best
It was a
couple of
joke.
movie history? That started with a rape. That's not a good start.
No,
Let's be honest here.
but I had it like in parentheses, like as a joke kind of thing. It's like history,
This is the
but
best couple.
the best couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Rocky soon has an opportunity to prove to himself that he isn't a bum after all. Heavyweight championship of the world, Apollo Creed needs a new challenger. Creed has flair and he wants to fight to a spectacle, so he chooses Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion, knowing that good publicity it will be when he gives a local Philly boy the title, a shot at the title. Now, what I like about this, where Apollo is, he doesn't care about Rocky or anything like that. He likes the name of the Italian stallion. That's what he likes, and he's
Player.
actually doing his own. He needs to fire his own PR team because he's doing a better job at doing PRing than his own PR team.
For real. I honestly, Apollo Creed is a great character. I love Apollo Creed. He's a good antagonist. I like that whole. It made sense what he wanted to do, and Carl Weathers is just amazing, an amazing actor. This is probably the only character in the movie I really liked. Like, obviously you want to root for Rocky. Well, I don't want to root for him anymore after the last scene. But you know, Apollo Creed, he was cool. He was cool, and Carl Weathers, like, probably the best performer in this movie by far, I think.
Most definitely. I definitely like the whole entire thing where he's like, man, I want to fight this guy. This guy deserves a shot at the title and everything. And the announcers are right. This is a Cinderella story for Rocky, though. This is his chance to shine. And then Mickey, get this, whenever Mickey kicks him out of the gym, basically, and also out of the locker room, he doesn't care about Rocky because he thinks that everybody's a bum, especially with Spider, fighting Spider. He's a bum. Then all of a sudden, he sees that Rocky is going to be getting a shot at the title. Now, all of a sudden, Mickey cares. And that's the issue that I have with Mickey is like, he's like, oh, so this is my one shot to actually prove to everybody that I can train somebody to get there to that next level.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking the same thing when watching it. I was like, oh, people might be mad at me. Maybe I'm in the minority because I always hear people talk about how great Mickey is. But I'm like, no, Mickey's lightweight a punk for this. Because he kicks Rocky out of the gym, and then as soon as Rocky gets a shot at the title, then he wants to show up like, hey, you need a manager. And I'm like, is there like
believe in you, kid.
Is there like one good person that's gonna be in his corner that's not trying to like just take from him, And like,
other than Adrian, who just doesn't
like you can make that argument, Adrian, but she's kind of forced into it, after the previous scene. I don't think her mind's all there for that decision. No. But Mickey was a punk. I was like, no, don't come to his apartment saying you need a manager. You kicked me out. And which I was glad that Rocky brought that up. He was just like, oh, yeah, you kicked me out of the gym though.
Right. You kicked me out of the gym. You gave my locker to somebody else.
You put me on
and now right. So I don't blame Rocky at all for being mad at Mickey because he's like, come on, kid, I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna take you to the next level.
Set you up. Come on,
set you up.
I'm like, nah. Get out of here, Mickey. I'll find someone else. Nah.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Because I actually had that in my notes. I'm like, Mickey didn't care about Rocky up until he decided, hey, he's going for that title. Now, Mickey's character does change and evolve later on in the Rocky films.
Yeah.
To where he's actually that lovable, tough trainer that Rocky needs and wants. So I like the change of character after once this movie is done. Mm-hmm. But the setup to get Mickey to train him and everything just sucks.
Yeah. I would have felt better about Mickey if Rocky went to him and like, hey, I need someone to train. You're the only person that I trust. And like, he like kind of have to convince Mickey because like Mickey always thought he was a bum because he was working as a loan shark. And so like it would have been better if Rocky had to be the one to try to convince Mickey to train him. Like, hey, trust me, I changed. I want to do this for my life. That would be better because like how it is now it just makes Mickey look like a punk, a mooch, another mooch like Paulie. Yep. Not as bad as Paulie. No,
definitely not as bad as Paulie, but definitely
it was bad.
Has a slight edge of being near there, but not quite. But he trains, he jogs to the steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. He punches slabs of meat in the slaughterhouse. Mickey, the owner of a local gym, becomes Rocky's trainer, like we said. But I also like the subtleness of the scoring in the background where you hear the little bit of it, and then it amps you up when you have that moment of him being on the steps finally, because you finally get him being on top.
Oh, yeah.
And everything. So I definitely like that. I like the scoring of this. I thought the scoring was good, and it definitely pumps you up.
This is the part of the movie that's actually good. When I'm gonna get hate comments towards me. I'm sorry. I've been getting hate comments anyway, so a few more.
Facebook.
but 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 like when it's focused on the boxing, the preparation for it, this movie is fantastic. Like when he's jogging through Philadelphia and he runs up the stairs and it's looking over the city, like that shot is so beautiful, even for its time. Like I know, it's an old movie, so it's a little grainy, but that still looks so beautiful. And the sunrise coming up, he's like, he did it. Like I had to pause it and be like, dang, I want that shot as a poster. Like it's beautiful looking.
It's iconic.
And then the training montage. That was cool. I like the idea of him just, punching the meat. I was thinking about chasing the chicken, but that's the next movie, I think, right?
Right, that's the next one.
Next one or the third one of those movies, chasing the chicken.
But I want to mention this though for a second though too. Is this okay? So when we get that whole entire thing with the training montage and things like that, we always think of the gym like we do today, right? Where we have all this the stuff. No, back in those days, it was just weights, boxing, and that was it.
A ring and some bags. That's it. Yeah,
that's it. It's just your basic standard gym that you probably wind up paying maybe once a month, maybe $60 a month. If you think about it, but but I do like the training montage because of the fact they're trying to get him toughened up, trying to let him take jabs to the, basically to the stomach, trying to toughen that up and trying to get him toughened up for this fight. So I definitely like the montage for this.
Yeah.
On New Year's Day, 1976, it's time for the fight of the century, maybe in the biggest fight in American history since the Revolutionary War. Apollo Creed enters the ring dressed as George Washington. He has the skills to back up the showmanship, and he almost knocks Rocky out immediately.
I want you.
I love Apollo. I cannot help but love him.
He's great. I was like, Carl Weathers, man, can do no wrong.
No, but let me tell you a little fun fact about some of this stuff that I found out about. Okay, so you know that part whenever he goes into when Rocky goes into the building to look at his poster and stuff like that? Okay, so he goes, hey, you messed up. You messed up on the poster. I was supposed to have this other thing on. Well, basically, there was an accident, I think something with the advertising or something like that, so therefore they had to use that. So they just used it in the dialogue to change some things up. And it works. And then also, too, whenever somebody says, hey, Rocky, how's your robe? Oh, it's a little bag. It's not that great. Well, guess what? They lost the robe or something, I believe.
When they were filming?
Yeah.
It's just this is what you got.
But yeah, that's some of the little fun nods here and there that I thought that was actually pretty interesting.
What do you think of the actual boxing match?
The boxing match I thought was longer. I remember it being a lot longer than what it was supposed to be for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it felt like I was watching a pay-per-view match for UFC and it just ended way too quickly.
Yeah, it was quick. I would have rather have had because they just did like the first round and then like the beginning of the second and then all Rocky movies do it. They like skip most of the rounds. And I was just like, ooh, could you give us maybe one more round? So it's like, because he knocked Apollo Creed down the first round, so like, can you do the same, but like reverse it in the second round, so it's like a back and forth, and then do the round skip,
Right.
But yeah, you're right. It does end like really quick. When it did end, I was just like, don't we have a few more? No, it's over. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is I wanted to back some stuff up real quick about the robe that I was mentioning.
Uh-huh.
So Stallone actually ordered a normal one for the wardrobe department, but was issued with a robe that as he says was built for Godzilla. They turned the problem around and were able to use it as a comedic moment before the drama of the fight. So I thought that was actually pretty cool because it actually fits if you think about it, because of the fact that he's coming from nothing. Mm-hmm. So of course his stuff is not going to be right.
Right.
And it's also messing with his anxiety. Because he wants to make sure that everything is looking good for him because it's his first big fight. But at the same time, you're in the slums. You don't have nothing. So,
Work with what you got.
so right, the robe being bigger, baggy, and stuff like that, everything works for that setup. But the fight itself needed to be longer for me. And it didn't start getting longer until you actually get into Rocky 2 whenever they have to fight off against each other again.
Yeah.
And
now Rocky 2, that's a movie. That's a movie, Rocky 2. Whoa!
And also, too, this is also another thing that winds up happening to them, too. But Rocky holds on. Mickey advises him to go to Apollo's ribs, and Rocky hits him so hard he breaks a few. Rocky also gets his precious nose broken, like we mentioned. He keeps his cool and doesn't let that stop him.
It's an improvement.
But I do want to go back to the meat freezer bit, though, too, because he's on the news, and the thing that the reporter's over there trying to talk to him. Hey, Rocky, how do you fight? Hey, come on back over here. Let me show you. Hey, Paulie. Yeah, look. Paulie goes on ahead. This is what Paulie does. He gives me this meat, and I go ahead and I beat it.
You what? I beat this meat. Yeah, but what? Demonetized.
Right? And then another thing that I want to know where the managers are at whenever he's over there beating up on the ribs.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, too. He's like, yeah, Paulie, yeah, go on ahead. Hang me up another thing on ribs over here. I'm going to go ahead and show this news reporter what I'm doing. Then after that, it goes into, hey, Adrian, it's me, Rocky. I'm over here. How you doing? You may not know who I am, but it might be because your TV is snowy. And we don't have direct TV right now. It's the 1970s. But I just thought that I thought that's also another iconic thing was the meat thing, but also too, it's like you're already showing Apollo what you can do, and you're leaving out the element of surprise.
Well, Apollo wasn't even paying attention, so it works out.
Right.
I do like what Apollo's trainer. That guy's cool too. I hate that I forget his name, but he's just like, he's in here thinking this is a fight, and you're playing it's a show. End this now. I was like, yeah, you better stop playing, Apollo.
And fun fact about that though too is,
hopefully the pretending it's a show doesn't come back to bite you in any way, shape, or form, Apollo.
Oh no.
Rocky 4. Oh man.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Apollo.
But okay, fun fact though about the trainer. That's actually the same guy who played in The Shining, who played the caretaker, who played the person who was showing Jack Nicholson around inside the hotel.
Oh, really?
So that was actually a little small nugget. I just wanted to mention.
Fun fact.
But
I've never seen The Shining.
You need to see it, man. Especially whenever Halloween's coming around.
It's a scary movie though. I'll see it. I'll watch it. But I'm just gonna be like this a lot.
Right.
You know, I don't like being scared.
I'm just gonna be shoving popcorn in my face. But anyways, he goes a distance with the champ. He doesn't win the fight, but he doesn't care because he has proven his own self-worth. Oh, shucks. And he has Adrian. She rushes him from the locker room, through the crowd, and into the ring to embrace Rocky, swollen face and all. The two soulmates say, I love you, for the very first time, and the movie ends with a romantic knockout.
Oh, there was something I wanted to talk about. During the fight, when his eye is swollen up, I misunderstood. Did he cut open his eyelid, or they just poked the swelling?
No, they actually, okay, so when you're boxing, because I took boxing.
Like, open it up. And I was like, oh, is he going to take off his eyelid?
Okay, so here's the thing. When you're boxing, you're supposed to go on ahead and let that gush out.
Oh.
And everything.
Pop the swelling.
Right, to pop the swelling and then try and sew that thing back up before the fight is even. And that's also a strategy that other boxers use, is to reopen that wound again. So that way the fight because after a while, if you get blood in your eye or whatever, the ref can go on ahead and basically say, look, one more time to the eye, we're going to have to close this fight down.
Yeah, you're dying.
But that's just something from whenever I used to box. That's how
Oh, you used to box?
Yeah, I used
I
to
did.
take karate and boxing.
I didn't know that. How long were you doing
Yeah.
that for?
I did it for about a year, and then
Uh
I knocked out my bully that took boxing, and then yeah,
huh. You're like, huh, I'm done. That's all I wanted. Peace,
yeah,
everyone.
I did
Well,
what I had to do.
well,
But
next time we hang out in person, whenever I'm over in your neck of the woods, you're gonna be the one that handles business, not me.
okay, got that. But I think that as far as this goes and stuff like that, as far as the ending goes, I think it ended too fast. I still say that they should have gave us a little bit more fight choreography with it, to actually feel the impact of the punches and things like that. Because I didn't really feel the impact of those punches up until you get into Mr. T in Rocky 3, and when we get into Rocky 2 and the other ones. That's when you actually feel the impact of the punches. And
They
even when
get
you
it
watch
down.
the very yeah, and even when you watch the very first Creed movie, you can feel the impact of those punches.
Great movies. Creed
Yes.
movies. Oh, mm.
But I still need to see Creed 3. That's the other thing I haven't seen yet.
Watch Creed 3. It's so good.
So,
It's not as good as the second one, in my opinion, but like it's like there. It's close.
but okay, so I wanted to ask you this though too. So when he says, whenever he winds up taking Adrian and kisses her, and it's supposed to be that whole entire closing thing of them saying "I love you" for the first time, I still don't feel the love tonight. I still don't feel like I feel like that. You know how someone kidnaps you and you fall in love with the person that kidnapped you.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yep, that's what I
Uh,
feel like.
Pro- probably, probably. I'm not a
And
mental
I know that
professional or anything, but
I'm going to tell you this right now, man. I know that Facebook is going to come after us because they came after us for a couple of shorts that we did already. To be honest, so
what to quote Optimus Prime, let them come.
exactly.
I will
But
say this though, Rocky is at least better than Rocky 5. I'll give
yeah,
it that. I'll give it that.
and I do have to say this. I do like the one where he's fighting the Russian, but at times it feels like a music video versus it being a movie. Sometimes.
Rocky 4 is definitely, I want to say, the most cartoonish, but that's my favorite of the Rocky movies because it's just a good movie. It's a good
It
movie.
is. You know what though, man? We need to review more Rocky movies though together because I would like to actually go through the filmography of Rocky and see where we land on it. You know what I'm saying? Because so far we're actually agreeing on a lot of the things that we had issues with the film.
We're great minds think
Yeah,
alike. Like,
yes, they do.
who would have
And you didn't
thought?
even have to pay me the $40 this go around.
I
You
still won't go into your house to look at your turtles. We're
don't
not
want to
doing
look at my turtles? Why not?
no,
Hey,
no
look at my muscle. Look at my
turtles are
muscle.
cute, but not in people's houses. I'm not going in.
I got exotic animals.
If you're
I like.
leading with that, if you're trying to get me in your house, you would say things like, "Hey, I have garlic bread in the oven." That's enticing. But
I got
hey,
garlic bread in the oven and
oh,
spaghetti
okay,
and a bottle
now
of wine.
see now we're negotiating. Okay, garlic bread, spaghetti. Okay, I'm still a little panicked, but I'm considering it now.
See, that's very good.
But not turtles. No, but come see my turtles. No,
But you know what
no.
though? I wanted Adrian to say, "No shit, dumbass. I'm the one who sold you the turtles."
I've seen the turtles. I don't want to see them. I see so
So,
many
and
turtles.
then
I
Mike
work at a
is over
pet
there,
store.
right?
I don't want to see these animals again.
The poor girl's been working in that thing probably since she was a teenager, and
Mm, mm,
here
mm.
goes Rocky. But
Okay.
anyways, guys, tell me what you guys think. Did you guys like the very first Rocky movie? Did you have any problems or issues with Rocky or anything like that, like Alex and I had, or whatever? Tell us in the comments below because we would like to know what your thoughts is. because I had fun watching it just to just to see where it started from as a revisit.
Hmm.
But it does make me uncomfortable for Adrian. Polly is still unlikable.
Most of it doesn't age well, but the boxing portion is legendary. The boxing portion, legendary. Everything else is like, I don't need to see that.
Exactly.
Oh,
But this is actually what Robert Ebert said about Polly, though.
oh,
He said he isn't a good guy, but but he's family and they love each other. I think that's quite relatable for a lot of people.
people. I will agree with that. People do have, like, if someone's family, you just have that sense, like, oh, I can't just throw them out of my life. They're family, like, no matter how awful they may treat you, like, a lot of people that do that, like, so, like, that is relatable. A lot of people go through that, like, oh, I have a really messed up family member too. But everyone watching, you don't have to do that. If
No,
someone is toxic to you like Paulie, get them out
exactly.
fast. But there's one thing I wanted to bring up, because it bugged the heck out of me, because this is the most painful part of the movie for me.
Yeah.
In the morning when he's going on a jog, not the jogging part. I'm not that against exercising, but he's wearing Converse while he's jogging. And, like, I've worn Converse before. Those hurt. Yeah, I can barely walk in those. Like,
Right.
they have no cushion whatsoever. I couldn't imagine going on however many mile jog that he was on in Converse. Like, I would wear Skechers before I wear Converse on a jog. Like,
Exactly.
oh,
That
I,
that would
just had
hurt
to
my
bring it.
feet, to be honest with you. That's not something that I would want to wear. That's for sure.
My feet were blistering watching that scene. Like, oh, they look good. Converse look good, but
Not while you're running and going up those steps and sweating your ass off. No.
Converse look good on, like, a shoe mantle. That's where they look good.
Right. But anyways, so is there anything that's going on your channel that you want to announce, or anything that you have coming out?
Well, I'm stuttering. I'm doing something. What am I doing? My brain's farting. So tomorrow I will be doing my review requested movie, Little Miss Sunshine, on
Oh,
Friday.
nice.
And on Monday, I'll be reviewing the newest movie, Bottoms, which I've been told is Fight Club, but in high school. And I think that's just hilarious. So I'm going to go check that out. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay. Well, tomorrow I was supposed to have Doom Generation podcast on reviewing Serial Mom with me, but the host of Doom Generation had COVID, so we rescheduled it for next week. For Serial Mom, it's going to be either Friday or Saturday for that one, and I cannot wait to actually talk about Serial Mom. Serial Mom is one of those movies that you just have to watch and see how it turns out. And then also too, Monday, Rossi will be on the show. We're going to be doing why do we like gangster movies,
Mm-hmm.
and just doing like a deep conversation to why we like gangster movies and things like that. I had my wife to thank me for that, because she's like, "Why the shit do you like gangster movies?" I'm like, "Because I'm Italian." She goes, "I am too, but you don't see me watching this." I'm like, "Okay, so you just inspired me to do a whole segment."
There you go.
But also, I think
Thanks to you,
James.
babe. We're going to talk about it. You're going to sit
Exactly.
and
Watch what I'm going to do next. But Jamie is also going to be joining me, I think, on Monday as well. I think I'm going to be doing 2 shows. We're going to be doing Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, that's another one I haven't seen, but I hear great things about it.
It's one of those movies for me that helped me get through a lot of tough times in my life. That if I want a good laugh, that's what I put on every single time.
Okay. I'll check that out one.
Okay. Well, guys, that's going to do it as far as Movie Lovers Unite goes. Please stay tuned for more. I will have Dean Simone coming on. Remember, Alex?
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
He actually is playing he has a little short part in an HBO series called fun times. And we're going to be talking about how he got the role, things like that. So stay tuned whenever I have that coming up. And always until next time, guys. Bye-bye.